World's greatest podcast in America, John Reed, Cody McClure. Cody, how's life in Texas?
Oh, life is swell. Life is swell. Everything's fine here in Texas. Everything's good. A lot of cowboy hats. A lot of women in boots. Everything's good. It's good to
Have you
be
met
here.
any women yet?
I've met a lot of women.
But have you met a woman yet?
No, no, none in any kind of fun way.
Any
Just
prospects?
you say prostitutes,
No. Prospects.
prospects? No, no, not really. No, nothing standing out. Had some interesting Uber riders, but nothing that really took off or anything. I had three different people last night, all from New York. I don't know if that's the new, if Austin's the new destination from New York, like it is California. Probably just a lot of places in general. They're moving to cities like Austin and Nashville. So
Wait, had they moved to the city or they were just visiting?
no, they had moved. It was just randomly three different riders in a row. They had told me because I asked them where they're from. They asked me where I'm from, whatnot, and uh, and they were all from New York. Everybody here last night was from New York. I guess they're
So how
trying
did
to.
go ahead?
I was just saying. I guess they're trying to get away from like the New York government up there that's giving all those illegals prepaid debit cards. Maybe they're tired of that. So
Yeah, I saw the conversation around that. I didn't bother to look into it. I saw some people mad at the New York government. Saw people talking about the Baltimore mayors. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've chosen to just continue to ignore. Wake me up from my political slumber if Biden and Trump actually ever debate. Otherwise, I'll just check back in November or so.
see who wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let me know. Let me know how it goes.
What do you think about Trump saying it would be a bloodbath if he doesn't win?
I feel like that was a clear.
Taken out of context?
Yeah, I was going to say a clear example of somebody being taken out of context. But the problem with being taken out of context and the problem with saying stuff like that can be taken out of context and using that type of language is that there probably are some nut jobs that hear that and don't think of the context either. They see the headline about a bloodbath and like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. I'll load up for war. Get
Hell
ready
yeah.
get ready to spill some blood. So I mean, like it's bad to take that and try to make it a story and try to make it something it's not. Could he have used a different phrase? Sure. But like I think that
Perhaps.
I think that expecting someone to not use that type of vernacular, especially him, to not use that type of speech is a fool's errand. So like I think it was kind of bullshit that those headlines became a thing and not only does it try to make him look bad and to try to like incite people to be mad at him, it also might incite people to that just see bloodbath that think, yeah, it's time to go to war if this election gets stolen again. Like that probably is more dangerous than him saying it. But yeah, it seems like a clear example of it being taken out of context.
We've got our arsenal ready, Mr. President. Yeah, hopefully there won't be any, major gun violence or anything during the election. But if it's anything like 2020, it's bound to be exciting.
Well, I can only imagine what happens if he loses.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like the conversation is still ongoing and just pretty much accepted by half the country that the election was stolen or tampered with. So
Rigged.
like if it happens again, I imagine that it takes those frustrations and anger to a different level.
You know, I'm a fence rider. I can be left, I can be right, depending on the context. I'm a real moderate American. for the most part. I try to think clearly, not get divided over political party lines, but I think that the whole stolen election thing was one of the most ridiculous things that the right has peddled. Just because, and the reason I say that is because I knew before he lost that that's what he was going to say. You know what I mean? So like if even I could predict that, then how does everybody else not see that?
Well,
That it,
my question is, if you think that it was stolen when you were actually president, why would you then turn around and want to run for re-election or election again, however you phrase that? Why would you want to do it again if you think that you got cheated while you were actually president? What makes you think that when you're not the president, things are going to go better for you?
because we
If you
got to
thought you were
save.
cheated the first time, would you not get cheated worse the second time when you're not actually the one in power?
We got to save this country, man. We got to do whatever we got to do to try to save this
Yeah,
country.
I feel you. But again, if you thought you got cheated the first time and didn't get a fair shake, what makes you think you're going to get a fair shake the second time, again, when you're not actually the president?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a fair question. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be weird. It's going to
I
be
would
real
like
weird.
I would like for someone to ask him that, why he all of a sudden has confidence in the election again, or the electoral process.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because he's geared up to run, so that'd be a
Yeah,
good
I mean, he's
question.
spending a bunch of money to run, so like, why do you think that you're not going to get cheated this time?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I gave some Uber rides last night. I told you, and
Yeah, how did that go? Like, so the first car was from New York. The second guy gets in and he's like, I'm from New York. And you're like, wow, that's crazy. I just had a guy from New York right before you. And then the third person gets in and they're like, I'm from New York. And you're like, you're never going to believe this. The two people right in front of you also from New York.
well,
And then the
yeah.
disappointment, the disappointment of the fourth ride that wasn't from New York.
Well, and then I got British people, which is always a pleasant surprise. There's nothing quite like getting British people when you're not expecting it. That's one of my favorite things. It's like, hey, how you doing? And there's, oh, hello there. How's it going? What's your name? My name's British man. And like that's always my favorite. These two women were just they were complaining about Glastonbury, the festival, and I guess it's in Scotland.
I mean, I
And
kind of know. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
well, imagine like two American women talking about Lollapalooza or something, except these two were British. So I'm just eavesdropping. I just like hearing the conversation. They're like, the one girl was like, Glastonbury's not my favorite. I'm not really bothered by the headliners this year, but they do have some pretty good C&D acts. They were just breaking down Glastonbury, and I'm sitting up there like, yeah, I'm an American. I'm an American. You people are funny.
Adele, huh? What about Adele?
But yeah,
Hey,
British
that
people,
that new Amy Winehouse movie. You got any thoughts about it? Huh? That Amy Winehouse, she could really sing, huh?
British people, when you're not expecting it, are interesting. And then I also got a chubby Latina woman last night getting off work. Those are my favorite. Nothing makes me smile quite like a chubby old Latina woman. They just put a smile on your face. I don't know what it is about them. You know what I'm talking about? Those real dumpy, chubby, older Latino women. They've been working all day with their hands, cooking up tacos and whatnot.
I don't know why they have to be cooking tacos. They
Well,
might be doing other stuff.
I picked her up from a restaurant. I mean, I don't know what she's doing. She's making tortillas. I don't know. She worked there. So, like,
She could have been just front of the house.
she
Could
could
have
have
been a
been.
manager.
She could have been. They make me smile, though,
They got good energy.
when I see a chubby Latino woman, because if she's smiling, I'm smiling.
Ultimately, I feel like if you ever do get married and have kids, it's going to be to a chubby Latino girl.
Yeah, I hope so. They just, and also it's like the least likely carjacking scenario. So, like, you just feel at ease when you see a chubby Latino woman.
Okay.
You know, they walk up, but she says, Blanca? Yes, yes. She- that's just because they got like broken English, you know. I'm like, "How are you today?" And they're like, yes, yes. they make me. They just make me happy. I don't know what it is about them, but
Why are they saying Blanca?
her name was Blanca.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blanca?
yeah. Doesn't that mean white in Spanish? Or Blanco is white, I guess.
Well, that's what I was asking. Yeah, I didn't know why she was saying it.
I don't know, but that was her name. And then a I had a couple that was just so fucking boring. It was a dental hygienist, and one of the most boring sectors of the American workforce is the dental hygienist community. Uh, and her male counterpart was like a marketing guy, you know. So they're just back there talking about, and they think they're interesting. That's what gets me is they're like apologizing to me. They're talking about some girl they know. Did you hear Sarah? Her husband was he cheated on her with a girl in Cancun or something. And then they're like, "Oh my god!" And then they're like apologizing to me, like, "Sorry for all the drama." You know, like I could give a fuck. You have no idea. You people are boring, but that's a good thing for me. I like boring. I prefer boring whites now. So
Sorry, not everyone can host a podcast.
exactly. Not everyone is a renowned podcaster.
Not everyone could be an open micer and a podcaster.
That's right. That's right. Not everyone can.
Enjoy cleaning your teeth, bitch.
Actually, the beauty of it is everyone can. Everyone could be an open micer if they wanted to. So those were my riders last night. What else did I have? Anything interesting about my riders? Oh, I helped a woman jump her car. That was another thing I did yesterday.
Was
So
this a rider or just somebody you saw on the side of the road in the parking lot? How does this go about?
no, it was a rider. So I picked up this woman, and she had two little kids with her, and she had a bunch of Amazon packages with her. And she said that she had been out delivering Amazon, and I guess she took her kids with her. And so it made me feel for her. Like she's obviously like a single mom, and like she probably can't afford daycare or whatever. And
Did it
so
make you jealous? That was the job you were supposed to have in Austin, and
no,
you're not out delivering packages.
no, I never heard from those people. I don't know what the deal
So
is with that,
they
but
got you to move to Austin to take a drug test, and then just ghosted you.
yeah, I mean, I was kind of planning on coming here next anyway. So
Do you think they saw you and saw that you were fat and got tipped off, and they're like, "There's no way this guy can keep up with the grind of delivering these packages"? Yeah, make sure you're on Wi-Fi
I
just for
am.
your phone's sake.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi, but I got a call and it cut out. Hang
I
on.
said, do you think that it's possible that someone from the company either saw you or got tipped off that you were a big old boy, and they thought, "Wow, there's no way this guy can handle the grind of delivering these packages as fastly as we need him to, so we're not going to hire him"?
Who would have told them that? The
The,
people at the drug test center? Like
yeah, they probably have relationships.
you think they called the employer and they said, "Look, this
Said, "Hey,
guy, he's
hey,
yeah,
this guy's no good.
it,
This guy's not cut out. He doesn't have what it takes to be a varsity package deliverer.
he's too heavy. He's gonna get tired on the job. He's gonna quit."
He's not going to go fast enough. Trust me, he's not going to
Uh,
get it done."
there probably is some truth to that. I doubt that that's what happened, but
That's what I've convinced myself happened at least.
I doubt that's what happened, but also I could see that scenario where they think that I'm just not cut out for it once they see me, but it's hard to say.
All right, so
And,
back to jumping this woman off. So she picks you, you pick her up, you take her,
well,
and just out of the kindness of your heart, you got out and jumped her off.
well, I picked her up and we drove for like 5 minutes, and it was like a 30-minute drive, and then she was on the phone with somebody telling them how she didn't have anybody to jump her car, so she just got an Uber. And so then I just, I overheard her conversation. So I was like, "Hey, would it be easier if I just took you back and I could give you a jump?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, you would do that?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been in a situation before where I needed somebody to help me. My car wouldn't start. So, plus one in the karma department for me, I guess, being a kind of bit of a hero. But
Did the kids start calling you dad?
no, no, they didn't. But it
How
was,
attractive was this woman on a scale of 1 to 20?
oh, not very. 3. I mean,
What about 1 to 50?
uh, 4. Yeah, she was
But
not very attractive.
well, that was
But
nice of you to help her. I don't know if it gets canceled out when you say plus one in the karma department for me, because that implies you did it just for the karma, and that's a little tricky. But you
yeah,
did a good deed. I'm proud of you.
well, I like to be recognized when I do something nice for someone. That's part of it. You want people to know. You want the recognition for helping somebody out. That's part of helping people. So I told her, I said, you got to go straight to AutoZone or Advance Auto or one of those places, O'Reilly even. You got to go straight there. They'll get a battery on for you. And then that way you won't have to get jumped again. You'll be out in the middle of nowhere and not have a nice, kind person like me who offers to help you out. So hopefully she went and got her a new battery.
She give you a tip.
She did. Yeah. Yeah,
How much?
that's another reason I did it.
How much she give you?
Only $5, but she was a working woman, so that's fine. I
Did you
did
get
it.
credit on Uber for the 30-minute ride, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I still got my fee for the ride. It
The
wasn't.
full 30-minute ride, or how does that work?
No, no, it wasn't the full amount. It was because the trip was shortened because we only
I
went
didn't know
like.
how that reflected. If that reflected on that, if Uber saw that and assumed something went wrong and that you didn't deliver this person to their destination, maybe you guys got into an argument or something.
No, I don't think Uber assumes that, but we just turned around and went back, so it was just a shorter trip. They just go by the mileage and the time. So but it was just it's good to help somebody out in their time of need.
While you were driving her around, did you just keep ominously looking in your rearview mirror at the kids in the back seat, just
And
flashing eyes at them,
their sad faces.
just
No,
trying to scare them, giving them dirty looks?
why would I do that?
I don't know, just so they would remember you.
I don't know. Speaking of kids, I'm pretty sure I accidentally bought some kid socks the other day because I needed new socks. When I have to do laundry, sometimes I put it off for a while, so I just go buy new underwear and socks.
Sure.
And I bought these socks, and they're like 3 inches long. And I'm like, and I got them home and got them out of the package, and like I've been just stretching them over my feet, and I'm
Can you not just
pretty
take them back?
at this point. I've already worn them and
I
washed
don't
them,
think it. I don't think it matters.
but
Where'd
I
you get them
can't.
from? Where did you buy them from?
Walmart,
You get 30 days. Just put them back in the pack.
dirty. I figured out though because they're once I washed them, they're like tiny. They're like 3 inches long. I'm like, how did I buy kid socks or are these like these? Or sometimes they have like the no show socks though
Well,
that are
that's what I
not
was going to
very
ask.
big.
Did you just buy like the footies, the no shows?
I don't know. Maybe I did, but I regret the purchase. They're not adequate sock length for me.
Just take them back, man. Everything's too expensive to just be accepting the kids' socks. Just take them back. Walmart doesn't care.
No, I'll just wear them. I'll just, I'll just.
Fair enough.
It's what
So
can you
you'll
do?
you'll you'll bother the poor man working at the gas station. You'll make him do all this extra work and wash his hands to make you feel comfortable about Zen. But when a big corporation wants to stick it to you, you just bend over and say, "Okay, here you go."
Well, this was my error. This was my error.
Maybe they had kids socks in the adult section, and you just picked them up, assuming they were right.
I don't know. I just when I get socks, I just grab them. It's like because I feel like most of them are like one size fits all, and obviously these are a little bit smaller. But speaking of feet, my mom sent me a picture of her foot a couple days ago, and I was like,
Tell me
"What?"
more.
I was like, "What is the deal with this?" And then she followed it up with because she texts like a 60-year-old woman, so the first thing I get is just an image of her foot, like with no context for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then a couple minutes goes by and she follows it up with a, hey, does my little toe look swollen to you? and and so I looked at it. And I'm like, well, yeah, kinda. And she's like, yeah, getting old sucks. I stubbed my toe the other day and it still hasn't healed. It hasn't healed for like 2 weeks. I'm like, I didn't need to see your piggies, Mom. But I mean, yeah,
Can you forward me that picture?
yeah, I will after the podcast. I said, but I said, I
I'll
don't,
put it on the YouTube broadcast. I learned how to add graphics and pictures to the presentation, so
oh,
I'll just
okay.
drop it right here in the middle. If you can send me a picture of Moss foot,
Yeah, I'll be sure to do that. Um, but it was not my favorite thing to receive. I can tell you that, especially not expecting it. I'm like, why am I getting a picture of my mom's foot? She had her toenails painted. I guess she got
oh,
a pedicure recently.
oh,
So maybe she was trying to show off her pedicure,
she might have been
and
trying to send that to a man and accidentally send it to you.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. That thought crossed my mind, but I'm
She might
like,
have been sending a sext, and it was like, "Oh my god, I just accidentally sent it to Cody."
let me correct this by asking if my toe looks swollen. I don't know though. Her little toe did look swollen. So
Do you know what it usually looks like?
no.
It could just be the normal sized toe. She might just be playing it off. Maybe she has a little bit of a chubby pinky toe, and she just played it off, and you fell for it.
I don't know why Ma would be sending feet pics at this
Some
age.
guys are into that.
I mean, Ma's, she's going to be 63 this year. I mean, she's getting up there. I mean, surely to God, she's not sending feet pics around. She's been with the same dude for 20 years with I call him my stepdad. I mean, technically they're not even married, but he's my stepdad.
Well, maybe this is what they do to keep it spiced up. Maybe she sends him some feet pics throughout the day.
I don't know. Speaking of spiced up, apparently California is considering a ban on flaming hot Cheetos and Doritos in schools, I guess in public schools. And I remembered your take about the Doritos the other day, so it made me think about you. And so they're considering banning those hot chips and like Takis, the Takis chips.
This feels a little bit like class warfare, is what it feels like to me.
No hot chip for poor kids.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, because they're not banning them in private schools, only public schools. So the private school kids, the Beverly Hills kids, still get to eat Takis.
Well, I got to be honest. When you tell me about the spicy chips and the Takis and all that, my mind doesn't go to Beverly Hills kids.
Well, I just said that because it's California.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying my mind doesn't go to. I don't think the wealthy are eating those type of chips.
You don't think wealthy people eat hot chip?
No. Think about every person I picture eating those chips in school. They came from the other side of the tracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of chips do the rich people eat?
Lay's,
Just plain Lay's,
Pringles. Well, no, you could have some barbecue. You could have some barbecue. Some Pringles.
I don't know about all.
Maybe a little salt and vinegar.
I don't like salt and vinegar. Chip.
Well, you didn't come from that side of the track, so that checks out.
Chip flavors are weird. Chip like combination flavors. Like when you think about how when they're artificially flavored, they taste good, like sour cream and onion. But then if you think about sour cream on its own and onion on its own, like that's pretty gross.
Yeah, I don't really like many flavors of chips. I know that won't surprise you.
Imagine taking a raw onion and dipping it in sour cream and taking a bite out of it. Like that's not what those chips taste like at all.
I think about it when I hear sour cream and onion. I don't want any parts of it.
Yeah. So
but also, like, how do you explain French onion dip?
It's delicious.
Are the onions from France?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, is that the secret recipe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You're asking a guy who actually doesn't eat a lot of chips, believe it or not.
I never did either. Well, kind of. I do eat a lot of chips with my sandwiches these days, but
you seem like a Funyuns kind of guy to me.
No, come on, get the fuck out of here. You're calling me a Funyuns guy?
Get the fun
Absolutely
out of
not. If there's one of us here, you just made me choke just thinking about how nasty those are. If there's one
So
guy
you've
on this
had 'em.
feed, if there's well, of course I've tried them. Of course, maybe I maybe I haven't tried them because
you're
the
allergic
people
to
I
'em.
know that liked them were my gross cousins, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a Funyun type of guy. Those stink. I don't really like onions, anyways. But no, if there's one guy on this feed right now that's a Funyun guy, it's you. It ain't me. Get the
I
fuck out of here. I ain't no
don't.
Funyun guy.
I don't like the yellow bag. I don't like the yellow bag with the green writing.
No, it's gross.
Weird.
Like I ate Doritos, the regular nacho cheese kind. I ate those a lot growing up, and I like the Lay's barbecue, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I made the switch to the baked barbecue for a while. I eventually went back to just a regular barbecue, but like that's the only chips I eat. Maybe every now and then I'll get the what's it called, the sun chip, the red sun chips. I kind of like those.
The red one, that's like the garden salsa or whatever.
Yeah, I like those pretty good, so I'll eat the red sun chips from time to time. But that's about it when it comes to me and chips. Now, if you give me a little Lay's Ruffle and there is some dip around, I'll fuck up some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was always kind of last resort.
What about
My
Fritos?
pops, no, Fritos. Ugh, Fritos are disgusting to me.
I mean Fritos scoops with some cheese dip.
Yeah, I don't know. Now the Frito, like the Lay's, the big scoop, yeah, the Tostitos scoops.
Yeah.
I'll eat those sometimes if I have like some guacamole or some like hummus or some spinach dip or something. But no.
Hummus.
No, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I was just thinking about things you dip in. I used to eat hummus. I don't know.
You look like a guy that would eat hummus.
Well, I came from that other side of the tracks. But yeah, like I wasn't much of a dipper, and I kept it pretty basic. Just the barbecue and the timely Dorito, but only the red bag. My brother, he was a blue bag Dorito guy, and that lines up if you know us personally.
Yeah. Does he like Monster Energy too?
No, but he's a much closer to a Monster Energy guy than I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I see.
Like, yeah, you're right on this on that line of thinking. The blue Doritos are a step towards the Monster Energy things, but he's not. I don't think that type of guy, but he's a lot closer on that scale than I am.
On the scale of like who's
Monster
most
Energy,
likely to be at a NASCAR race?
Well, see, no, not really NASCAR, although he is much more likely to be at a NASCAR race than me, sure. But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
I get it. McDonald's is bringing in Krispy Kreme donuts.
Just alone, or they're trying to incorporate it in the food as a side, as a part of like a bagel? Well, instead of hash browns, you can get a donut. Like, what are they trying to do with it? Are they selling donuts inside of McDonald's?
That's so disgusting.
Well, I mean, why the hell else would they have it? Are they just selling donuts? You can go to McDonald's and say, "Hey, give me a dozen donuts."
Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese, and instead of the hash browns, can I get a chocolate Long John, please?
I don't know why you're using a different voice, because that's something you would easily do yourself. I don't know why you're not just using your regular voice.
I might have done something like that in the past. No more, though. Not anymore. I'm health conscious now.
Okay.
I think Krispy Kreme kind of sucks, to be honest.
I don't know how you could say it sucks, because a glazed donut is a glazed donut. Like, as long as it's not like stale or anything, to me, those are good. So I don't know how you can say they suck. Donut's a donut.
I think they suck in their field. It's like you can't really say that a brain surgeon sucks because he's a brain surgeon, but he's, if he's not the best one, like somebody's got to be the worst in their field. And I think Krispy Kreme, I mean, it's better than like Dunkin' Donuts, but I don't know. It's pretty average of a donut. There's a lot of better donuts out there.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but to be the worst in your field doesn't mean you all of a sudden suck. Like, you could be the worst basketball player in the Hall of Fame. You're still a pretty damn good basketball player. Now, you would be the worst person in the Hall of Fame, but you're still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You just got things better than you. I mean, to my understanding, Krispy Kreme doesn't try to do anything special. They're just kind of like, hey, let's just make some donuts.
Here's some donuts. We're open.
Yeah, like, here they are. They're hot and ready. Come get them.
I guess they're going to sell them in McDonald's now, which, gas stations have been doing this for a long time. So I guess maybe it's just Krispy Kreme's way of expanding their empire because they sell a lot of Krispy Kremes in gas stations. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Well, I guess I haven't paid attention. I guess I haven't paid attention to like whether or not they are Krispy Kreme or what, but I have seen plenty of donuts there.
I feel
I
like
don't ever
they're
really eat them. I thought I saw. I would have guessed they were actually Dunkin' Donuts that I saw in the gas station. Honestly,
uh, depends on how stale they are. The staler it is, the more likely it is to be Dunkin'. But Krispy Kreme, it's fine. Philip Fulmer, he loved Krispy Kreme donuts.
I mean, I like me a good donut. It's just something I don't actually go and buy. I got into a habit of eating at the Duck Donuts place in Knoxville,
Yeah,
but then the guy who created it got accused of like beating dogs and stuff. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'm out on this.
yeah. You beat
Yeah,
dogs?
yeah. He got in trouble for like dog abuse.
Did it
I'm
have to
pretty
do with the
sure.
donuts or?
No, I just think it was just like, hey, he owns this donut company, and to the best of my knowledge, like there's stories out there. I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he was found guilty or whatever, but he got associated with it. So that was kind of the end of my Duck Donuts.
Huh. He actually just opened a new store. It's called the Whimpering Pup over there off of Middlebrook.
Wah wah wah.
I don't know why you would hit dogs. It seems like a kind of a mean thing to do.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I don't ever put hands on Frankie or beat Frankie.
Oh,
I'll
that's
give him a little.
nice.
I'll give him a little pop on the butt if he's done something bad, but it's just like a little pop, and he the shame and the tone of voice, and he knows he's in trouble, so like it's good enough. I don't beat him, but man, I was getting actually him a bag of food today before we podcasted. I went and had to pick him up a bag before I go to Detroit, and so I went into PetSmart, and next to me was this big old gal in this little white car, and she had her windows down, and she was literally dog cussing her two dogs. She was talking to them so bad,
Yeah.
just f bomb after f bomb after f bomb, and like I didn't see her hit them, but like I feel like she definitely hits them when she
Yeah.
gets home.
Some people should probably not have them. Like, if you're not mentally stable, I feel like you should have to pass a background or like how people talk about gun reform. To buy a gun, you should have to be of a certain, not crazy. Maybe they should do that with dogs too.
I don't even really understand how they were making her so mad because she was just sitting there. And like when I was walking out of the store, they were just sitting, like looking out the window, something dogs would do. It's not like they were in the back seat fighting or anything. And she was letting them have it. But then when I got home to set up the podcast, I'm trying to plug in my extension cord, and I'm trying to let Frank go under the cord. He's just standing right under it, and I did find myself being like, "Bro, move your ass, like get out of here, move, get out of the way." And then I just thought about that woman. I was like, this monster. She doesn't
Well,
even feel bad the way she's, like I said, dog cussing them.
who knows what could be going on in her day? She it could be anything. She could be struggling with a tough. Maybe she's got allergies or something. I mean, this time of the year, mine have been acting up. My eyes have been itchy.
Well, I guess to your point, pulling into the PetSmart, it does put me in a bad mood these days because the dog food's so expensive. So it does kind of put me on edge as well. So maybe she does deserve a little grace.
What kind of food do you feed Frank?
Dog?
Yeah, but which one? You feed him like a good, like fresh pet kind of the
Neutro?
refrigerated,
Nah, just Neutro. I mean, it's a $55 bag.
just neutro.
I mean, you said like refrigerated and stuff. Like, no, it's not in the fridge. I don't know if is that considered good. I mean, it's a $55 bag.
Neutro. Unbelievable. You might as well be feeding him Purina.
I still don't know what the fuck you mean by that either. What does that mean?
Might as well feed him Old Roy. I mean, feed him Neutro. You should be cooking for him. You should be making
Oh,
him fresh meals every time you eat.
when he gets sick, they did try to guilt me into that with like chicken and rice, and I was like, I'm not making this fucking dog chicken and rice throughout the week. I was like, it's not happening.
Do you
It's not
think
happening.
that the type of food you buy for your pet is indicative of how much you love them?
No, I think it's
Because
indicative just to how much money you have and how much, like, I guess patience you also have to do things like that. I could afford to make that dog chicken and rice, but I'm not making him chicken and rice. I love him. I don't think of him as a kid. So maybe you're right. Maybe there are levels. Like if I actually thought of him as like a kid or something, maybe I would do those extra things. But I think I love him a good, healthy amount for a dog.
if I was big dog food, I would just keep charging more. Just make it more and more and more expensive because there's nothing that people love more than their dogs. Like especially white people. Like if you could open a pet feed store in a good area, like where there's
There are
like a
plenty of other people besides white that love their dogs. It's not a white person thing to love pets. Plenty of other people love
nah,
pets too.
yeah, white people have a weird relationship with their dogs.
Have you ever seen Next Friday?
Have you ever been to a park?
Yeah.
White women love dogs. If there's anything I know,
I see black women and Hispanic women there too with their dogs as well.
I'm not making it a race thing. I'm not saying black and Hispanic women can't like their dogs, but
You
nobody
literally
loves
are
them
making
like
it a race thing by saying
no.
white women love their dogs.
I'm saying nobody loves their dog more than a white woman. Is what I'm saying. A lonely white woman who doesn't have a man. You know, she loves her dog. She loves her dog. She's got a little corgi or corgi. I always say corgi. I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it, but they love their dogs. And I'm just saying, if I was big dog food, I would charge an outrageous amount because they would buy it.
Now,
The more expensive it is, the better.
if every company came to the same agreement that they were going to do that and there were no cheap options, you might be onto something. But at a certain point, I would start feeding the big boy chicken and rice if that was the case.
I was kind of strapped for cash one time, and I fed my cat Meow Mix, and I felt bad about it.
Say
Meow
this one more
Mix.
time.
I was low on money one time, and I had to get cat food, and I got Meow Mix,
This
and
Meow Mix not good?
it's like the lowest tier. It's what they sell at Dollar General, and I felt bad about it and she wouldn't even hardly eat it. I mean, she looked at it and turned her nose up like, what the fuck? She looked at me and said, why don't you get some fucking money together so I don't have to eat fucking Meow Mix, you piece of shit? And I said, look, it's food. You know, it's probably not the best, but sometimes I have to eat ramen and Vienna sausages, you know, so maybe you can handle a little Meow Mix from time to time.
No, I don't think that's actually the case. I think that's just in your head because you see the homeless people or the housing challenged people on the side of the road.
I think now they're supposed to be called unhoused.
The unhoused, the displaced.
Which sounds so much worse to me than homeless. Like, why do we have to fuck the language? Why do we have to change everything? Is it because we think of homeless people in a bad context? Now we have to call them unhoused. All you're doing is switching up the word.
I'm going to be honest. If I was to be a homeless person or a person without a home or unhoused or whatever, what you called me would not really affect my state of mind or level of happiness.
Right.
If I don't have a home, I'm going to be pretty fucking miserable and feel like a loser, regardless of if you call me homeless or unhoused.
Right. Yeah, like we don't need euphemisms for the socially disadvantaged. Like they know where they stand,
But like I
and
was
it's usually
saying,
on a street corner.
there are plenty of people that are unhoused on the streets that have pets, and those pets seem happy. They don't need the best food in the world, and that's what I keep coming back to is like, hey, this is still better than what they would get by themselves. So
Do you feel like the term people of color just kind of switched around what we said in the 60s? You know?
I wasn't alive in the '60s. I don't know what you're referring to.
Colored people.
Whoa, you can't say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can't say that.
But that's what people said back in the day, and now they just switched it around. It's like,
I don't know how we end up talking race, what seems like every episode, but like my understanding and my experiences are that all of that is just kind of bullshit. Now, like, I'm not saying it's
that's
not
what I'm saying.
offensive. Well, I'm not saying it's not offensive to be called, colored people. That's disgusting. But no, like I'm saying, like the people of color. Like if I was black, just call me black. Like I know I'm black. I'm proud to
Right.
be black. I'm happy to be black. You don't have to call me a person of color. I'm black.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have to bullshit the language. It's, Spanish people don't like that
Well,
fucking Latinx thing or whatever.
well, I
Like,
don't think we were bullshitting the people whenever we had the hateful things.
well,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I
We did
think
away with
calling
that.
people of color might have been a way to try to like counterbalance that out to
Well,
fix that phrase.
well, speaking of people of color, that P Diddy, he's a bit of a rascal, isn't he? Have you seen the stuff coming out about him? He's problematic. Is that the word that they use now?
So what do we got with Diddy? I know that he was reportedly on the run. Then some people came back and said actually he wasn't on the run. He was planning that vacation with his family regardless. They're talking about secret tunnels in his house to escape. What's the 411 on Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Puffy? What's the 411?
You asking me? I mean, I don't have the details. I just know they raided his house. I saw it on Lester Holt told me about it on the NBC Nightly News.
So you don't have the 411?
No, not in particular. But they say he was really. I think he was like beating women, and there was some stuff with maybe underage, and there was. I don't know what all's true. Like I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but he's not. His PR is not very good right now. His he's kind of coming under fire. Apparently, he killed somebody. I don't know if that's true. Again, I'm just kind of saying that, but
Well, we had this, I think, when you were still on the show with me, where Cassie,
yeah,
his former lover, she had those allegations and lawsuit that that basically he was holding her hostage and making her have sex with people and do all these things, and that he had tried to blow up Kid Cudi's car because they had become friends and became close. Like, there's plenty of stuff out there about him being a scumbag. It
and
just
then
seemed to
there's
kind of follow the Epstein. It kind of followed the Epstein path of like the rumors, the lawsuit, and the next thing you know, the feds are kind of kicking in your door, waving the 4-4. All they're saying is, "Papa, don't hit me no more," as they're coming in to get
huh?
him, and that was a Big line.
Oh, okay.
I was being ironic because he killed Biggie, or allowed Biggie to get killed, and then covered it up and didn't ever tell anybody who killed him. So
Say what?
karma.
You
Huh?
tell me P Diddy killed Biggie and he didn't do time for it?
I'm not saying he pulled the trigger. I'm saying Puffy knows who did it and why they did it. And he never helped them catch the killer.
Sorry, sack of shit.
I mean, you could argue that no one benefited more from Puffy dying or from Biggie dying than Puffy. You could make that argument.
Kid Cudi's car actually blew up too, didn't it? Like, didn't they?
I
Wasn't
mean,
that?
that's what he said. I mean, he said it did. I don't know. I wasn't there, but like, no, like by all accounts, Puff Daddy is a real rascal, as you said. He's a real son of a bitch. But
Bit of
like,
a
yeah, like,
rascal.
yeah. So I was just quoting a Big line to pay homage, and I imagine once Biggie died, and he gets to see the afterworld and gets to figure out life secrets, he realized, oh no, that man Puff set me up or allowed me to be killed. And wow, now look at him dancing around singing "I'll be missing you" and making all this money. And wait, what the hell is this Ciroc bullshit? Now he's like close to a billionaire, and he's a terrible person.
Just a bit of a scoundrel,
Kick in the
allegedly.
door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was "Papa, don't hit me no more."
Who shot you?
No, different song.
Separate the wheat from the. Yeah, I like that song.
Obsolete.
Obsolete. Separate.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Separate the weak from the obsolete.
From the
But it kind of,
obsolete.
yeah.
good. That's so good. Biggie.
Classic.
God, that guy could rhyme, couldn't he?
And that's hip hop. That's talking hip hop with John and Cody.
Yeah.
But no, it seems like Puffy is a terrible person, and it looks like he will get his comeuppance.
Do you regret letting people into traffic if they don't wave at you?
Do I regret it? No, because I am a kind person, but it does make me a little mad.
I regret it if I don't get the wave.
I'm like,
thanks.
I'll just start waving, and then I'll just honk the horn.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
I let you in.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Something I've been thinking about. What about
Did you see? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
you're still on topic. I was changing topic. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. You go.
No, go ahead. What do you got?
No. You first, please.
I'm waiting on you.
Well, I was just going to say, what about when someone...
You didn't wave? I just let you over in traffic. That was the podcast version of me letting you over in traffic. You didn't wave?
That's very good. What about when someone pulls up behind you at the gas pump when there's other pumps open? Because that was kind of grinding my gears the other day. There were like
what about when what? Say that one more time.
You know how if the gas station's full and like every pump is got a car at it, somebody will pull up behind you and wait on you to move? And that's fine if the gas station's full. But I had a lady do that yesterday when there were pumps open. She just didn't want to like reverse the car and move into another. And it puts pressure on you while you're pumping gas, you know, because you're standing there pumping. And like, it's like, well, normally I get a receipt, but should I even wait for the receipt? This person's clearly impatient.
Normally you get a receipt. What the fuck are you getting a receipt for? I know
fuel.
you're not filing your taxes.
Whoa. For fuel purposes.
I know you're not. I know you're not filing your taxes. So what do you need a receipt for? Does Uber reimburse you for fuel? They don't do that, do they?
No, you have to do it for your taxes. You have to keep your receipts. You have to keep track of your mileage and fuel.
Okay. Whatever you need to say.
Cut that out of the podcast. Anyway, there was a lady at the gas pump, and she pulled up right behind me, and there's like 3 pumps open. And
no,
I'm like,
I think in this scenario, you don't feel any pressure. I think in this scenario, you just got to be like, hey, you're making this choice. I'm going to go about my day. I'm not going to be a dick and try to be slower than usual, but I'm just going to do exactly what I always do. Well, and if she's got a problem and has the nerve to say anything to you, you say, excuse me, ma'am, there are 3 other pumps right here.
Well, what if
I'm not on your time. I'm on my own time.
What if you need to go into the store?
You go in the store.
Because I do that, and I think really you're not supposed to just hold up the gas pump like that, but normally I just leave my car there.
You're not supposed to hold up the gas pump like that. You're supposed to move your car to go in the store?
I think so. I think if you're pumping
now maybe in
gas,
your big cities, maybe in LA, maybe in Hollywood this is the rule, but like here in middle America or small town USA or whatever you want to call it, we understand like, hey, you go in the gas station, you can do your business. Now, if you got a shit, if you're going to go there and take a 20-minute shit, maybe move the car.
I've done that.
If you're going to go there and order a bunch of food and, like, sit at the diner and eat it there, like, maybe. Like, if you're going to, you know how they got, like, Arby's and Wendy's and all those places. Like,
sit at the diner.
Yeah, like, they got diners at some of these places. Like, if you're going to sit at the diner and eat, like, maybe move your car. But
if you're just going to go in here to the attached Denny's for a couple hours.
Some people do.
My
but
car
like,
will be
yeah,
fine here at the pump.
But yeah, like if you're going to do that, maybe move. But if I'm going in and just getting like a soda and using the bathroom, I'm not moving my fucking car. Now, my car's electric. I don't have to worry about this. I'm trying to save the environment.
You don't get gas anymore, huh?
No, I'm trying to save the environment.
I am glad to be back in a place that's got normal gas pumps. In California, they got their gas nozzles. This is very specific. It's very, nobody gives a shit about this, but it's like the gas nozzles are too big. Let's move on. Anyway, I like a regular gas nozzle. Regular old, hang it up, put it back. You know, you don't have to, I can't explain it to you because you don't know what I'm talking about, but
in
anyway.
Our new weekly segment, What's on My TV, currently on ESPN, they are discussing whether or not Caitlin Clark should accept Ice Cube's $5 million offer to play in the Big Three.
$5 million?
$5 million to play in the Big Three. Apparently, it's only 10 games.
I mean, yeah, I'd play 10 games for 5 mil, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't think they're offering you.
Well, no, but if I was Caitlin Clark, I saw a tweet the other day that came across my timeline, and it really made a lot of sense, and I can't stop thinking about it. Somebody just tweeted that Caitlin Clark looks like the kind of girl who would keep it hairy, and now I can't stop thinking about that because she kind of does, right? Like I definitely get why that guy got that vibe from her, and now I imagine that that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if by keep it hairy being the type to do so, you mean she's just more focused on ball and like not necessarily worried about keeping up with that other stuff during the season, maybe. But like otherwise, like, why do you think that? Just because she's kind of athletic?
I don't know. I
Is
don't
it because she has
know
dark
why.
hair?
Maybe,
If
and
she had
you
blonde hair, you wouldn't say that.
right? No, you wouldn't.
I feel like this is just because she has dark hair.
Dark hair, pale skin. It just seems to check out. I'm not the one who tweeted it, but
But you said it checks out.
I think it does check out, and it got a lot of likes and interaction. I
Well,
think
it's
other
funny.
people get it.
Well, it's funny. I think it's funny. It's just a wild, out of pocket observation to say about
I
someone.
know it's a weird thing to tweet, but once you hear
But I
it,
don't.
it's like, ah, yeah, checks out.
But I don't think it's getting retweets and likes because people have thought about it and agree. Like you said, I don't think that's why people are
Yeah, that's
liking it and retweeting it. They're
sure.
liking and retweeting it because it's funny.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I know, but that like I feel like some
Retweets
people,
are not endorsements. Have you not seen everyone's disclaimer? Views are my own. Retweets are not endorsements. Everyone who has a real corporate job puts that in their bio. So
yeah, but
retweets and likes are not endorsements.
you read that and you kind of giggle because you're kind of like, oh yeah, there's probably a little truth in that. Like, I
That's
feel
not why
like
I
it,
giggled. I giggle because it's just an absurd thing to think about. It's deviant and
yeah, but
just
if you wrote that about like you said, a blonde or just regular, if you wrote that about Maya Moore, like nobody's liking that because they're like, huh, but like you kind of get it with Caitlin Clark. Like, I bet that is true. I bet, yeah, retweet. You might even quote tweet it. I don't know.
I don't know what my take is on whether or not it is hairy and whether
Ladies
or not
and
she keeps
gentlemen,
it that way.
at guard, number 5, Caitlin the Bush Clark.
She's number 22.
I don't know her number. She's in the WNBA. She'll probably be number 5.
What about the big three?
I don't know. I don't know if she should participate in that. I mean, on the surface, yeah, 5 mil. Like, why wouldn't you? But
Well, they say she's only got kind of in line to make $3 million next year between her like $200,000 salary or whatever it is, plus like endorsements.
$200,000 salary.
Yeah, I mean like the max salary in the WNBA is like $220,000 or something
Jesus
like that. Like
Christ.
it's not much,
She
but
might as well be a construction supervisor. Probably
but
make
then
more money
obviously she
doing
can
that.
get obviously then she can get endorsement money on top of it that she already has. So like she'll make less than $5 million next year, so she could basically double her money, triple her money, maybe even to play 10 games. But then she's playing with a boys' ball against boys, or men, a
Mm.
men's ball against men,
Wait, what?
men that
She's got a,
also go ahead.
there's no women's division. She has to play against men.
Yeah,
Well,
you
she
think
shouldn't do that.
you thought I was asking you if she should play women's 3-on-3 basketball for $5 million? No, the idea is that she would be playing against men.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Then nobody wants to see her getting her shots blocked by like real athletes. Nobody wants that.
You don't want to see it?
No, that's terrible. I didn't know she'd be playing against men.
Yeah, they're not offering her $5 million to play in a women's
Nah.
3-on-3 league. No,
She should turn that down and just make her endorsement money and not get embarrassed. Who are the players in this men's league? Are they any good?
I mean they're good, but like they're not anywhere near NBA level good.
Were any of them in the NBA? They're like
Yeah, like
retired?
well, I mean, like at one time, I don't know, like if he still plays or not. But like Joe Johnson, you remember him? from Arkansas. Went to
Yeah.
Arkansas, played for the Hawks, played for a bunch of teams at the end. Whenever he was like 40, he was still playing in the Big Three.
Hmm.
So like, there's a couple of like old washed people, but they're still like good basketball players, obviously. I would like to see it just to see how they would take A, her making so much more money than them, and B, just like how physical they would get with her.
They'd probably try blocking her shots and stuff.
Yeah, but if you try too hard to block her and you don't, then you
knock her down. Then
well, no, I was gonna say then you get scored on and you get embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't like that. Women and men should be separated when it comes to playing ball. She tries to drive in the paint. Some guy's going to take a charge. He ends up just, trucking her. Everybody's crying for her when really he was in the right. He had his feet set, but, it's going to be – he's not going to get that offensive foul call.
I would like to see her sit out there and bomb 4-pointers, though. They play the 4-point line in the Big Three.
Yeah, but she's got to play with a men's ball.
Yeah, it might mess her shot up.
I would imagine it will.
It's kind of embarrassing that they're even offering her this, but it also got a bunch of free advertising for the Big Three, which is apparently still going on.
Yeah, I didn't even realize this was still a thing. There's a Twitch streamer that lives as a dog. You familiar with this story?
A man or a woman?
A woman.
Do they actually have like a dog suit that they get in?
Yeah.
I think I've seen this person. Asian?
That checks out.
It's giving Asian.
I don't know if she's Asian. I think she's kind of. Is she attractive?
I don't know. I've only seen her in her suit.
Apparently,
I'm thinking of a man. Actually, the story I think I saw was a man that paid for a really expensive animal suit to live in.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Asian. Does she? I think she pees in the yard though.
Imagine being her neighbor.
I mean, if she's attractive, like, yeah.
No. At a certain level, it doesn't matter how attractive you are. If you're that weird, you're just like, no.
Look at this girl out there peeing in the yard.
Yeah. Does she shit out there too?
Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure she does. I don't know if she eats dog
What's wrong
food,
with
though.
people? How much money does she make doing this?
We have a mental health crisis in our country.
It might not be mental health. She might be making $1 million a year doing this.
Well, I mean, yeah. If she is, yeah. I mean, good for her, right?
I would. You should live like a bear.
Whatever happened to a little dignity? What?
Everyone has a price. That's what the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase taught me from a young age.
You got to have a little dignity as a person. We used to when people would fly on an airplane, they'd dress up in a suit. Now you see these people at the airport wearing flip flops, beach shirts. I mean, what's going on in this country?
I can't imagine wearing a fucking suit to fly across the country.
Sounds awful.
You also used to get to smoke cigarettes on an airplane as well. I'm glad we got rid of that too.
Those were the days.
I do kind of agree with you. I don't go super casual when I'm on the airplane. I'm not wearing sweats. Now, I'll wear a comfortable hoodie from time to time, sure. But for the most part, I'm not wearing sweats or basketball shorts or anything like that. I'm wearing something at least somewhat presentable.
I wear my best athletic shorts. And
You're an athletic
shirt.
shorts person?
Well, I'm an athlete. I did that on stage the other day. I was wearing like gym shorts, and I just opened up with, I see I'm the only basketball player here. People, they laughed at that. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. I did an open mic at like this hipster coffee shop. It was funny, by the way, because their security was like skinny hipster dudes with like the holes in their earlobes, like they had security shirts on. I'm like, this guy could not throw me out of this fucking place if he had 7 of him.
Well, I wonder if they give him a weapon though.
Well, I don't know, but he was like 130 pounds. I was like,
if he had pepper spray and a taser, I bet he could get your ass to move.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he's got weapons, but like, how do you hire that as your security? Like a hipster. I mean, I guess you got to fit the aesthetic, but
yeah, I guess having you out there guarding the coffee shop. Why do they even have security? Why do they have security at the coffee shop?
It was like a beer place too. It was
so he's checking IDs and stuff.
Yeah, it's a very busy place.
Okay.
So I mean, there was a crowd there, but
Well, there's like Honeybee Coffee here locally that sells beer and coffee. They don't have a bouncer out there.
well, this was a pretty big operation. It was
And
like
I
a
guess open at night as well.
open all the time. Yeah, it's 24
Okay.
hours, which
24
is
hours.
also very wild to me. I don't know if they'll sell you beer 24 hours or if it's just coffee 24 hours, but that was a very interesting part of it to me that they're open all the time. I can't imagine getting thrown out of a bar by a guy with holes in his earlobes. It would be very embarrassing.
It'd be even worse if he whipped your ass.
I don't think that's even possible.
If
He's
you acted up,
literally too small.
what if he knows karate?
Who gives a fuck? He's 130 pounds. You could
What
be
if
a
he
black
takes
belt.
what if he takes his palm and jams it in your nose and kills you?
It's gonna feel like getting stung by a bee. Like, what do you? I let me tell you something. A black belt in karate. Whoever the baddest 130-pound man is on the planet, I'll whip his ass. Okay,
That's not true.
I'm nearly 3 times the size.
That's not true.
Like,
That's not
yes,
true
it
at
is
all.
true.
No.
It is true.
There are so many good like UFC fighters in the 130s that would whip you to a pulp.
I don't know that they would when we get on the ground. Now,
Well, can you get them on the ground?
well, no, listen. If you mean they get my arm twisted up or something, like in a submission type, yeah,
If they break your arm, that's a part of a fight. If you're actually fighting and they start giving those kicks right to your knees and they chop you down like a big ass tree.
those kicks have got to feel like little flicks. I mean, just little.
No.
Dude's
If somebody
130
kicks you as hard
pounds.
if someone kicks you as hard as they can in the back of the leg,
Are you familiar with chemistry? Have you ever heard of mass, matter, velocity? Like a dude that size, I get one hit in on him, he's fucking done. He's flying 30 feet across the room. Like, now, if you tell me submissions, like, but if we're in a fight, like, there's no way. I'm not
well,
losing a
part
fight
of knowing
to
karate is knowing how to like get the pressure points and get the holds on you and stuff. That's a part of being trained.
that's fine. As soon as you get your little fingers on my pressure point, I'm gonna rip your fucking. You're gonna be on the ground. I could not lose a fight to a 130-pound man. It just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, and I hope you feel the same way. I hope you feel like you could
I don't.
beat
I
up a
don't.
100-pound man.
I think there are plenty of 130-pound UFC fighters that would beat the brakes off of both of us.
Again, if you're talking submissions, if they can break your arm, like, okay.
Yeah.
If you count
that's what we're talking about.
well, if you count that as winning the fight, but like, I'm not talking about being in an octagon with one of these guys. I'm talking about a street fight at a coffee shop.
Well, I know. So, like, I'm just saying, like, if your plan is like, hey, I'm just going to charge him and get him on the ground, like, what if they reverse it? And next thing you know, you're in a rear naked chokehold and you get choked to death.
I don't know. You got like a nephew, right? Have you ever had a kid like trying to climb on you, like messing with you or something? And he's like grabbing your neck. It's like,
But not a trained 130 pounder. No.
Yeah, but you're laughing, because he's small. And it's like, okay, yeah. Oh, he's beating me up, and you get his little fists. It's like, I mean, that's kind of what it would be like.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure we could find you a 130-pound man in Austin to fight you.
Well, also you switch.
I'm sure Joe Rogan's got somebody in his crew that'll put you up on the stage. Maybe this is how you get famous. Put out your challenge in Austin. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would take you up on it.
I would also like to point out that you switched this over to fighting a UFC fighter. Like I initially
you
was
literally
talking
said
about
there's
a
no
hipster.
130-pound man that can beat your ass. That's what you said. You said there's no 130-pound man alive. I think your words were, I literally don't care if it's the baddest 30-pound man. He's not beating my ass. That's what you said. I didn't switch anything around.
I mean, I kind of believe that, but also, like, if he's a trained UFC fighter, I don't know. But, like, average security guy at a coffee shop, 130 pounds, it just ain't happening. Like,
I would say it's probably not going to happen, but you never know what kind of pressure points he knows or what type of pepper spray or weapons he has.
Well, that doesn't count. Like, if you start using weapons on me, like, if he's got a gun, he'll probably win the fight,
Well,
that's why
a lot of them carry guns.
I've lost a lot of who? I've lost a fight to a 120-pound person with a gun. So, if you count that as a fight, I mean, I guess that but that doesn't really count to me. That's not a fight. I'm talking about squaring up, you and me, fisticuffs. Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary going at it.
Well, here you go changing things, because a second ago it was a bar fight, anything goes. Now it's a tap gloves, squaring up, fisticuffs, as you called it. Like, now you're switching it up. Bar fight, you can have weapons. If he takes a beer bottle and cracks you in the skull with it, guess what? That's a bar fight.
Well, that's where I thrive.
I watched the new Roadhouse.
Oh, God. Why did they remake Roadhouse?
Because it got people, it was established IP that people would be interested in watching. I'm really just interested in why the hell Jake Gyllenhaal did it.
Is he the main actor in it?
Yeah, I'm confused why he did it, because he seems above that. I mean, unless he just wanted an excuse to get paid, to get like really ripped, and just to be like in the Keys or wherever they shot it. Like, if that was his goal, then okay, mission accomplished. Because I mean, he was ripped in the movie. He looked great in the movie.
I feel like Hollywood's out of ideas.
I disagree with that, but they do like, rebooting and rehashing stuff.
Was it any good?
No, it wasn't.
No. So why do it? Like, why do they do it? Just to make money?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that checks out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty bad.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing for people who love Roadhouse. They were probably excited about a new thing. Or maybe they weren't. Maybe they were like, this shouldn't be messed with.
That's probably what it would be. I mean, no one that ever lived loved Roadhouse more than my Uncle Jimmy. He died a couple years ago, though, so he didn't get to watch this new one.
He probably would not have liked it.
He wouldn't have had Amazon Prime anyway, so he wouldn't have been able to watch it. But I did think about him while I was watching Jake Gyllenhaal.
You could have helped him out. I mean, you could have showed him.
No, he had cancer. There wasn't much I could do for him.
Well, I don't mean kept him from dying. I mean, like, you could, like, if he was alive and wanted to see the movie and didn't have Amazon Prime, I mean, maybe you could have helped him with that.
There's not really shit I could have done for him either, because he never left home, so like he's not going to all of a sudden drive up and come to Knoxville to like spend the night with me to watch this movie. Like, there was no high-speed internet down where he lived, so he just would have been kind of in trouble. Because I don't even know if they released these type of movies on DVD at all. So like, I don't think there's any way he could have gotten to watch it.
Yeah, well, probably for the best. Sounds like it wasn't a very good movie. So,
well, the first one sucks too. So maybe he would have liked it. I don't know.
Oh, take it easy.
I did watch a good scary movie though this week.
You're gonna upset our UFC crowd.
You talk about people are out of deals and stuff. There was a new scary movie, The Late Night with the Devil, which I thought was unique and pretty good.
That's the name of the movie?
Yeah, it's like it's in the 70s, and this guy's like the number 2 rival to Johnny Carson, and he's trying to win the ratings and get his show going. So on Halloween, in like 76 or something, it's like the first night of sweep weeks, he brings on like a couple of people, someone who thinks they can speak to the dead, someone who's very critical of these people, and then also brings on this girl that's like reportedly possessed by the devil, like has a demon in her.
Is this a true story?
Yeah, and it's like the found footage movie of it that tells the story. And so yeah, like they do this like not really an exorcism. They invite the demon out. Exorcism, you're trying to kill the demon. They kind of invite the demon out, and hijinks ensue. Pretty scary though. Pretty good.
They invite him out for like a party.
Well, like to show himself so they can put it on TV and get a big ratings boost.
Oh, this
so like it's cool.
Happened.
So like the movie is basically just as if you were watching the episode of late night television. So like they do it, and then it's like goes to commercial break, and like they're talking during the commercial break, and they come back. So like it feels like you're just watching one big late night episode, which I thought was kind of cool. I know you don't really like scary movies, so you won't really watch it. But
who was the band?
There was a band, and there was a number 2 guy, kind of like every late night show has. But they did all the regular, hijinks that late night TV does.
Yeah, I like the music artist. I like seeing who the music artist is.
Oh, there was no music artist that night. It was just like the house band.
Oh,
like they always play like stuff coming in.
Probably
on breaks
why
and
they
stuff.
lost to Carson in the ratings. Could have used a few musical acts.
Did Carson used to get big musical acts? I know he used to get like comedians and stuff, but yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, I don't got anything else. You got anything else?
Yeah, I got plenty of stuff. How do you feel about murals?
I like them.
I don't like them.
Okay, what else you got?
I don't like the sayings on the murals. There's too many murals. They all say like, you know, you have a beautiful smile, show the world. You know what I mean? These dumbass murals.
I hear you.
I don't like them.
Okay, well, I do like them.
Like
What's the next topic?
people go take pictures beside the murals.
Let people enjoy things.
Instagram. Like,
Let people enjoy things.
that's something that one of the murals would say, probably.
I'm on that side. It doesn't bother me. Sometimes they're pretty. I love the one like in like Market Square, Big Dolly. They got Big Dolly on the side. It looks good. I like it.
What dumbass saying does it have on?
I think it's just a picture of Dolly.
Brighten someone's day with your joy. Well, the only other thing I have is the main story that we haven't touched on is the bridge collapse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it other than like the video was obviously pretty damn crazy.
I thought it was shocking because,
like the first time I saw, it, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, me too. Because I didn't expect that. Like I had heard about it. It said part of the who was it? Fredericks? No,
Francis Scott Key.
Francis Scott Key. Yeah, he wrote the God Bless
Declaration of
America
Independence.
or something. Yeah, he no, that was Lee Greenwood. It said that a part of the bridge had collapsed, and so all my friends were talking about it. You know, I was like, little bridge collapse. I'm sure it wasn't a major deal. And then I saw the footage of it. I was like, holy fuck! The whole bridge came down, and you see the roadwork crew, like the roadwork trucks, just slide into the water. Like, wow, that's impressive. So I thought it was very shocking footage. Of course, there's all kinds of conspiracies going on, about it, but
I haven't really seen
died.
the conspiracies. I haven't really seen the conspiracies attached to it.
Now they're always out there. Anything that happens, there's always stuff out there. Really shocking, crazy stuff, though. So anyway, that's all I got.
Wish me luck in Detroit.
When are you leaving?
Early in the morning.
Ray Charles had a song called "Early in the Morning." You
That's
should
what I'll
listen
listen to on the way to the airport.
Early in the morning.
That sounds like I got a woman.
Very good. It's kind of but it's a different song.
Okay. Well, you have a great weekend yourself.
All right. Well, hey, next time we talk, we might be in the Final Four.
We might. Now, I will say that if we do win on Friday and we have to play the late game on Sunday, I'm going to have to change my flight to Monday. Which, if that's the case, we will not podcast on Monday.
Well, it'll be all worth it.
Yeah. So just be aware of that. But if we win and we play at 2:20, I should be good to go for Monday.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll stay updated on that.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Have a good one.